So now that I've sorted all of my items, now I'm at station number 2. I'm assistant number 1 working on the dirty side. So I've got my items that haven't sorted here, so the bowls would have been washed. So I'm just going to dry them because they're sitting here at station number 2 drying. And I'm going to dry them off really well and then place them on the trolley for assistant number 2 to disinfect. The handpiece that I received is now going to go to the Statmatic to be cleaned and oiled. So once the handpieces have been oiled and cleaned in the Statmatic, I'm going to remove a handpiece that's been through. Leave this open. Use the swipe that is a soapy swipe. It's not a disinfecting swipe, it's a soapy swipe to remove the excess oils on our handpieces. And I'm now going to get ready to load our Hydrum. So our Hydrum is now free, and I'm going to open it up. The top part of the Hydrum, large cassettes only, as you've seen in the other video. So we're going to load it sideways. The lower part of the Hydrum has our baskets. And our baskets hold our loose items, such as our pipette that I showed you how to clean. And it goes in the basket that has a lid. And I'm going to go retrieve, you can't see me do this, but I'm going to retrieve the trays, the metal trays that were sitting with the ET foam waiting. So the metal trays that were waiting are now going to go in the Hydrum for cleaning. And don't forget, the Hydrum not only cleans, but it has an enzymatic that helps to disinfect your instruments. So now that I've got my Hydrum loaded, I'm going to close the Hydrum and then start it. So once my items have finished in the Hydrum, I'm going to retrieve them. They'll be dried and cleaned and disinfected. So I'm just going to retrieve them from the Hydrum. They've been done all what they needed to do. And I see that's a happy accident. I see there's an Explorer sticking out. So I'm just going to open it up and make sure that it's sitting back in there. So when this was closed the first time, it must have caught the door. So I always say make sure you don't have any instruments sticking outside of your cassette that you can poke yourself with. And that's why we wear our special utility gloves too. And then I'm going to retrieve my trays and my pipette. Okay. So you'll see that my cupboards are open here, and I'm going to retrieve from the cupboards and the drawers the needed bags the sterilization pouches rather, in order to bag my instruments that you see here. You'll also need out of the drawer the Class 5 integrators in order to put inside the cassettes and also in each bag. So I'm going to take out what I need. So I need one for one handpiece, another handpiece each. Just for the red labeled tray because it gets bagged, the blue do not get bagged. So I'm just going to place 1, 2, 3, and then of course for my 2 cassettes that you see here, 4 and 5. So once I've retrieved my Class 5 integrators, I'm going to retrieve my bags that I need. So the cassettes that you see here require the large bags that are located up in the cupboard. So I'll need 2 of those. My tray that I have here, that's the red label tray, We'll need the medium-sized bag. And the reason why I'm not bagging them right away is because I need to label them. And then for the hand pieces, I'll need 2, and for the pipette, you'll need the smaller bags. So out of this drawer, you're going to need your specialty Sharpie marker for sterilization. And that's about it. So we're going to close the drawers and close the cupboards. And now I'm going to prepare bagging my instruments. So by bagging my instruments, I need to write the load number, the date, and my initials. So the load number is located on the sterilizer, and I do have a separate video showing where that load number is. The load number in sterilizer number 1 is 0851, but we're going to go up 1 number because the load number that you see right now on the sterilizer is the past load number. So you need to go up 1 number. So 0852 would be the number that you're going to place for the load number. So I'm going to start with the handpiece bags. And before you place the number, make sure you fold the bag back. And you're going to place it on the front of the label, 0852, the date, and your initials. And you're going to do that for every bag. Now that I've labeled my bags, I've folded them over because it's going to make it easier to remove the sticky side, because your bags, as you've noted by looking at them up close in the pictures, have a sticky side, a little tape that you have to remove. So in each bag, I'm going to place, to make it easy, my Class 5 integrator that goes inside the bag along with the hand pieces. The tray, the pipette, and you want to make sure that you put the Class 5 integrator, the purple colored side, facing out so you can see it. So once you've loaded all your bags, other than the cassettes are a little bit different. So with the cassettes, you take your Class 5 integrator and you place it in the cassette. You could just kind of slip it in through the top. Make sure that the colored side is facing you. And then you're able to, once you've done that, we're ready now to load all our bags. So I have here an example of the date, the load number, and my initials are on the bag. For the hand pieces that come in 2 separate parts, the motor unit and the neck part of the hand piece, they are still apart in the bag with the Class 5 integrator. The single hand piece that does not come apart just gets loaded inside the bag with the integrator. The cassettes with the integrator inside the cassette is loaded inside the bag. Okay, so I've placed the red labeled impression tray inside the bag along with the Class 5 integrator. I'm going to remove the little sticky tab that covers the sticky side. If it does not come off easily, in your drawer you have a pair of cotton pliers, and you can then grab the side of the sticky label so that it'll come off. So underneath, I have placed my bagged items ready to go in the sterilizers. So I have here on this side my 2 cassettes that are labeled for sterilizer number 1. And then I have here my cassette with my red marked tray on here on the tray, labeled for number 2, and I would have had the load number for sterilizer number 2 on this bag. The trays go through that are blue labeled without a bag, because those are used to replenish kits that come when they're dirty. And for sterilizer number 2, I have also a cassette that's on a tray, and I'll show you what that looks like shortly when we load the sterilizers, how they are to be loaded.